Welcome. You're with the nasty pastor. I'm starting another reading. I'm starting another chapter reading. And it's it's an ebook reading. I don't have a physical copy. But it's something that I wanted to get into. It's something that I've been for the years, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, been trying to explain the difference, between religion, but to tell you and to now hold this up, what we're getting into the fall of America. It's a book, written by Elijah Muhammad, the the first teacher in the black community that's known to spread Islam throughout America. Now, the way Islam reached America is through this guy. Give me a second. I'm gonna look his name up to say it right instead of saying it wrong. And he's a Jewish. He's a Jew. I used to have the what's the name, the screenshot of him, but I take stuff out my phone, put stuff in my phone, and the his name is like Masad Farad, something like that. I don't want to take up too much time scrolling through Google trying to get the name, but his name is Masad Farad, something like that. And he came over into America, and he Wallace Fard Muhammad. That's his name. Masad is how they the name that I'm used to saying is Masad Farad. Farad Masad. You got what I'm saying? Farad is the middle name, I guess. But anyway, his name is Farad Muhammad, which I guess across seas, there you go. Master Farad is considered the finest dentist in the circle of the world. So the man must have been a dentist, you got what I'm saying, over Europe. I know when he got to America, if that was his main, occupation and teaching Islam on the side, I get you. I understand it. And that's how it should be done. You know what I mean? You have to have some type of income coming in. You shouldn't take the contributions from what you receive in your speeches, in your daily bread, and put towards paying your bills. You build your congregation with that money. You give back into the community that believe in your speech, your teachings. You got what I'm saying? If you wanted to be successful, you feel me? Because even though you're teaching this, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, your congregation still needs you financially. When they come through a hardship financially and they have given you, it's not for them to go to a bank and take out a loan. You got what I'm saying? If it's a reasonable amount, it's not for them to go to a bank to take out a loan. And if they need to go to a bank to take out a loan, you, the teacher, the minister, is a pillar in your community. Your word, you going into that bank with that person in your congregation to get a loan, your word should let that application go through fine if these people comply, qualify. You get me? Anywho, like I said, it was a Jew that brought Islam into America and started teaching it. You know what I mean? It started in Detroit, Michigan, and it trickled all over. You know what I mean? All over America, the same as it did over across seas. You know what I mean? It started and it covered Europe, the Middle East, it covered Africa. You know what I mean? Probably went on into Asia also. You know, it's religion. It's information people are seeking. It's knowledge people want. It's understanding people want. You know, so right now you can come and you can make a man-made religion up. You could come up with something, dig something up, get some scriptures, and find out that there's another religion that existed on this earth, and the masses will gravitate to it, will pull themselves to it because of the information. But I want to say this, and I'm gonna get back to this book, this chapter reading. I'm starting, you know what I mean, and like I said, the book was written, and was written by Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. You know what I mean? And this book was published in 1973. I was just 3 years old. And to give you some of my education of what I know about Islam, I was a child. I don't think I was even over 10 years old when my uncle introduced me to Islam. And to fast forward a little bit, I had another uncle that was in prison that introduced me to another part of Islam. I got it differently from two of my uncles. And, my Uncle Junior, which his name is Kareem Bashir. And he used to take us to the temple on North Avenue. It's not the temple that's there now on the right side of the street if you're coming from downtown Broad Street. It was a small little temple on the left side if you're coming from the direction of Broad Street. You know what I mean? And what I learned about Islam, what I saw in Islam, men sat on the left, women sat on the right. There was a whole lot of respect and dignity in that building. I saw the black culture, the black community, the black race, the black African race, not just look prestigious, not just look successful, but was walking, talking, and financially successful. You got me? What I saw in Islam is the joining, is the loyalty, is the how to put this, is the bond, you know what I mean, between family, between brothers, sisters of the faith, of the culture. I didn't see drug addicts. I didn't see drug dealing. I didn't even know too much about Malcolm X at the time. Didn't know too much about Muhammad Ali at the time. I found out after I was a teenager, maybe close to my 20s, that Malcolm X, you know what I mean, once was a drug addict, once sold drugs. I started viewing a lot of his hate speeches. I started viewing a lot of his speeches where his pilgrimage into Africa woke him up and started taking that hate out of his heart for the white man. Because see, how can we? I'm 53. How can I have a racist bone in my body when I didn't go through it? I get my uncle because at the time when he was my age, racism was alive and walking around in the street justified. You feel me? So how they feel about racism, how they feel about white people, not how I feel about white people. You got me? See, what I don't like about Minister Louis Farrakhan is the fact that he's a teacher, he's a speaker. Everything he do is supposed to be motivational, not just to his congregation, but to the onlookers, to those on the outside looking in. You feel me? He never grew with the times. You understand? He's growing now, and he know why he's growing now. I can say why he's growing now, but it will look as I'm assassinating this man's character. And that's not what I'm gonna use this platform to do. No, I don't like the hate speech. No, I don't like Muslims denying Jesus Christ. You got what I'm saying? I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Baptist. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Muslim. I'm a Kemite. I even know Jesus was real. Jesus really walked this earth. Jesus really served whom I pray to. You get me? I don't understand why, if you understand religion, if you understand domino effects, if you understand the Middle East, if you understand how religion got into the Middle East, then you should understand the coming of Islam. You should understand that what Moses took out of Kemet, he brought into the Middle East. What he took out of Kemet, he transformed it into Judaism. After the Middle East, or after his natural life, his journey was over on this rock, they transformed Judaism into Islam. You feel me? Judaism even went on to become Christianity, even went on to become Baptist, even went on to be the scriptures, the tools, the guidance in the Catholic world. You feel me? Look, I'm going to say this to you again. I'm going to reiterate this to you again. I am the nasty pastor. This is the opening introduction to the reading of The Fall of America. This book was written by Elijah Muhammad. It was copyrighted and published by Elijah Muhammad in 1973. I was only 3 years old. I will be 54 this year. We're talking, what's that, 39 years? What we're talking, I'll be 54 this year, so what we're talking, 49, no, 39, however it go. We're talking 51 years. 1973, I was 53, I'll be 54 this year. So we're talking 50, look, however it go, we're talking 53 years ago. You got what I'm saying? This book was put out into the world. I haven't looked in it yet. I have looked at the first chapter to see how long they are, so I know whether I have to do straight reads or I have to do parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, but as far as reading it, I have not tapped into that yet. So if this is a instruction to the fall of America, if this is a prophecy of how America is going to fall, we're going to tap into this. We're going to uncover this. We're going to, shake this up a little bit. There's something in this book. It says there's 223 pages. Within these 223 pages, being that I've lived 53 years, there's something should point out to me where the start of it started, or what I realized when it was ongoing, something's wrong in America. You get me? Something's wrong in America.